Our country and our way of life is fading away. How'd you like to stop watching it fall apart and instead be part of the action and taking it back and giving our kids and future generations a chance to grow up with the same freedoms that used to make living here great? Our power isn't in the ballots we cast and the politicians we aim to elect. I don't need to tell you that election integrity is compromised. Your most important vote is in your wallet. Every dollar you spend is up to you. It's your choice who you support financially. In 2020, the little guys like you and me suffered the most. $3.7 trillion with a T were lost in 1 year. Guess where that money went? Right into the hands of the super wealthy. Almost a perfectly exact transaction. We might as well have wired the money straight to these guys. A handful of giant corporations control everything we buy at the big box stores, amassing wealth and power at our expense. These corrupt conglomerates are so filthy rich that a portion of their funds are dedicated to legal because they know they're going to harm you.
Johnson has been awarded to pay $8 billion in damages in a Risperdal.
Johnson & Johnson has become the fourth drug maker to settle the Ohio opioid lawsuits before going to trial.
It ordered the company to pay more than $500 million to the state.
The jury ordering the company to pay a record $417 million to a woman who claims its talcum powder caused her ovarian cancer.
J&J is facing 13,000 lawsuits over Risperdal.
J&J will settle for $20.4 million, but the deal includes no admission of liability.
Johnson & Johnson has recalled over-the-counter medications for children and adults 9 times in the last year for a range of problems.
In the first state opioid case to make it to trial, a judge in Oklahoma late today ruled Johnson & Johnson helped fuel the state's opioid crisis.
Many of these suits say the company failed to properly warn people of the risk associated with the drug.
From at least 1971 to the early 2000s, the company's raw talc and finished powders sometimes tested positive for small amounts of asbestos. Information Johnson & Johnson reportedly failed to disclose to the public.
And even with lawsuits and settlements, they still have enough profit left over to dwarf anything you and I will ever see in a lifetime. Their products are toxic and unhealthy, and they come from abroad, supporting our enemies and enabling high inflation, price explosions, and supply chain breakdowns and empty shelves. The system is rigged against us, but only if we keep playing into that system. We have to stop feeding the monsters who use our money to impose their will on us with mandates and passports and control over our lives. Instead, we need to feed the domestic, patriotic titans who share in our values, want a better life for us and for our kids, so we can cut the tentacles off the monsters that are trying to squeeze the life out of us. Does that sound like something you want to be part of? Could you spend your dollars on family-owned, domestically made manufacturers who share in your values instead of these corrupt corporations perpetuating the global scam? How would you like to support companies that don't have a legal fund because their products have never, ever harmed a single customer? And why stop there? Would you like to also learn how you could earn an income by joining and supporting this movement? How'd you like to walk away from the shackles of employers who've been influencing you to work in conditions you hated for the last 2 years? How'd you like to work from home and be free from mandates and passport requirements? How would that sort of freedom affect your life? How'd you like to be able to freely support your family again and do it on your terms? Or how would you like to have the option to take your kids out of the concerning, deteriorating traditional school systems who've put our kids through the same shameless mandates and social experiments as us, and whose curriculums are becoming more and more radical? Would being able to work from home empower you to be able to give the kids what they really deserve? This is a movement. It is a lifestyle. It's about being tactically effective in our everyday choices to effectuate change. We all have to walk the walk and work together to make this fallen world a better place. If you're fed up of watching from the sidelines, then I'm looking for you. If you realize that you were put on this earth, in this moment, in history, because you're awake enough to see what's wrong, and that your purpose is to be a force in putting things back in balance, then I'm looking for you. Reach out to me. My email is thepunisheroftruth@protonmail.com. Tell me why this matters to you. Tell me why this message resonates with you. And tell me why you want to be part of an action plan that is doing the sort of things that I'm talking about here. The time is now. I need all hands on deck. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that and want to see more, hit the like button and feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. This content can be found on BitChute, Gab, Brighteon, Telegram, Rumble, Parler, Odyssey, and the Highwire. So please follow, subscribe, and turn post notifications on so you can know when the next post drops. Thanks, and see you soon.